Welcome, welcome. You know what time it is. Time for more stories, fables, and ghostly tales. Before I jump right into today's story, don't forget to visit me on Facebook in the links provided. Follow me on Twitter under the handle @StoriesFablesGT so that you can get the next episode fresh off the press. And lastly, visit my YouTube channel if you prefer that platform to listen to. Today's story is unique, submitted by Robert Furl. So what you're about to hear is a real-life account of what appears to be a ghost encounter, but with a more tangible presence than most, as the ghosts seem more like they were in our world instead of their own. Buckle in for this one. It's going to be an intense story. When I was little, I was sleeping with Dad nearby and kept hearing knocking on the window. This window was 20 feet off the ground near a big butternut tree. Although it scared me, as I was quite little back then, the fact that my dad was nearby emboldened me. So, with Dad as my moral fallback plan, I stood up on the bed and pulled back the curtains. That's when I saw them. 2 young kids, with wide faces, dressed in old-time 18th century clothing. And they were motioning to me. I watched them for a short time, and decided to wake up my dad and tell him what I saw. Dad, wake up! I saw something weird outside. He went to the window to make an inspection of his own. He looked back and said, "Son, I don't see anything. Nothing. Maybe the knocking is the old butternut tree, son. I'm going back to sleep." I kept hearing that knocking. All night it tapped, but buried beneath the cover I hid myself, never wanting to look again that night. Previously in the same house, when I was still young, I also saw a figure with a robe and hood. They appeared halfway down the steps and turned around to walk down the hall by the coat closet and completely disappear. This place is full of strange things. But wait, it gets stranger. I was no older than probably 20 years. I always loved beagles and used them all the time when I went hunting. And I had the dog with me at the time this occurred. I pulled into Avis Minute Mart to get some gas to fill up the car. That's when I noticed this old-style car parked nearby, and by the door is when I noticed something odd. I noticed this pale-looking man sitting in the driver's seat staring at me. And I mean dead-eye staring. As I walked towards the door, his eyes were following me. I looked down, and when I walked by, he gave me a chill. Something about this stout man was cold, was dead. I also noticed his attire, dressed all in black, with his shirt just visible under his jacket. He continued to watch as I paid for the gas I just pumped. As I pulled out of that gas station, he was still parked, and still standing by that car door, still watching me. As I left the station, I decided to take a different route, one where the local garbage dump is now located. There was only one way into that stone road that led to the tracks where I usually parked. When I got there, the usual long carriage train was barreling down. I got my dog out and grabbed my gun, heading down towards the tracks, where the train was passing just ahead. When that train passed me, there was something on the other side of those tracks, just down the hill from the old Quiggles graveyard. That car, with that man, with those eyes, and that dead skin, just glaring at me. I didn't cross the tracks. Nothing in the world would make me cross those tracks. I had a shotgun, but knew it would be no good. How could I harm a man who appeared to be already dead? I got my dog and my scared self out of there, and I mean floored it out of there. I never saw that guy again. It would be impossible for him to beat me past that train track, let alone standing outside of his car as he was in the gas station. Nothing added up. I never saw this man, this thing, again. Wow, what a story. This is like some sort of haunting spectre, something that walks in your footsteps. Could it have been linked to the cloaked figure you saw in your house? Is he watching you, guiding you? And what about the children? This story has so many questions, maybe in time we'll know. Although this was a shorter episode today, this was one intense story. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this podcast around. Also, I enabled these episodes to be downloaded, so if you want to grab them, send them to your pals, by all means, go for it. This story was submitted to me and shared across Facebook groups to my collection. If you have your own stories, please do not hesitate to send them to me. I'll take the time to read through them, edit them, and do your story justice. If you don't want your name said in the title, let me know. Otherwise, send them right this way. And what can I say? That's it for today. And of course, tale tellers, enjoy more stories, fables, and ghostly tales. Until next time. Time for some bloopers. Although this was a shorter episode today, thank you, door, for creaking. Whoa, what a story. Whoa, I know. Yeah, whoa. Guy next door. It would be impossible for him to beat me. No way. Yep. Thanks, Mr. Carr. Okay. Thanks, lady. So, with Dad as my Will no one think of the children?